And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of the Sister Maemae Show. How you guys doing? I hope you guys are having a happy, blessed, wonderful New Year's. I hope the new year is bringing everything that you wish, want, and desire into the world. Um, Today, I thought it would be an interesting conversation to have. Um, Last night I was a guest on the Transfusion Radio Show. Go ahead and check my sisters out. They're out of Dallas, Texas. The hosts are Miko Hicks, Pocahontas Duval, Lachey Weeks, and Miss Juicy. They're from Dallas, Texas. You can check their YouTube out. You can check their Facebook out. You can check them out on Miko Love on Bigo, and so on and so forth. But last night they did a conversation. I joined the conversation. It was about black cis women and is it okay for them to just be trans friendly or do we expect black cis women to be allies? And again, if you want a further breakdown on that conversation, you go check out Transfusion Radio and you can hear the full conversation. But today I want to bring up something separate, a piece of what we talked about in the show, which was is the fight between cisgender black women and the trans community the same as the fight between trans women and the non-binary GNC community? And I would like to just say that I absolutely think it is very similar, but it's not the same. I think the difference is that as trans women, we are saying that non-binary people are not trans, we're not saying that they should burn in hell, they aren't deserving of love, they aren't deserving of attention, um, their safety and all this other stuff is invalid. At least not me. I can only speak for myself. You know, everybody have different opinions on the circuit on this conversation. Where I feel like sometimes some black women, not all, but some black women chooses to use this "we aren't women" thing as a way to demean and bring danger to our lives. And here are just a few examples that I can think of off the top of my head. I've never heard of a trans person telling a non-binary person, "Oh, that's a non-binary person. You better not mess with him, or else you're gay." Whereas I hear black women telling black men all the time that that's not a female, that's a nigga. And if you like her, then you gay. Or if you like him, then you're gay. I feel like there's an element of danger, and I feel like there's an element of when it comes to the trans versus non-binary thing, I feel like there's a large element of understanding that's trying to be taking place. Like, um, back in my day, I'll be 40 this year, I'm 39 currently. Non-binary people, we call them androgynous or club kids, right? And they weren't considered trans, but they were just that, androgynous. And, you know, and if they were very femme androgynous person, sometimes they hung out with the girls and was respected as a girl, but they would tell you quickly that I'm not trans, you know, I'm androgynous, I'm a cross dresser, whatever the case may be. Nowadays, I feel like a lot of these androgynous kids, and the new name for androgyny is non binary or gender non-conforming, which is GNC for short. And let's break down the differences between the two. I feel like non binary people, they just don't feel comfortable with living life in a binary society, binary meaning male, female. They don't feel like they fit into either of those boxes. And I can understand that. And I can also understand how they feel like their journey in life is a transition because they're moving from one thing to the next. Now, the next isn't male or female, is being somewhere in between, but it's still one thing to the next. Now, these GNC people, gender non-conformant, is I'm not gonna say where I have the issue. It's just where I have less understanding. Um, the gender non-conforming people are people to either gender, right? So they don't feel, again, same similar to non-binary, they don't feel like their gender is either male or female. They feel like they're either both or neither one. And again, I can see where how they can feel like there's a transition there, especially I'm gonna say to me now, to me, a transition is from moving from one thing to the next. If you're not moving from one thing to the next, if you're this is and see, I have to admit that I think of trans in a very binary thing. It's a very binary thing. I was born one thing, and my goal in life is to live life and present to life and to exude and to reap all the benefits and all the backlash of being a woman, right? I choose to take on all of that, right? And for me, the issue with some of these gender non-conforming, some of these non-binary people is that when it benefits them, they put on the mantle of womanhood. But when it doesn't benefit them, or when it benefits them, they can choose to put on the mantle of manhood. And it just depends on which one benefits them the most at that particular moment in time. Right? I don't feel like I have that option. I'm trans 24/7, 7 days a week. I'm a woman 24/7, 7 days a week. There's no in between for me. So I feel like that's the difference. When it comes to the battle between female versus trans, and again, I may be sounding like a total and complete hypocrite, and when I rewatch this, I may sound like a total and complete hypocrite, and I can acknowledge this, but I just feel like as a trans person, I don't feel, I don't see other trans people putting non-binary people's lives in danger when I see, feel, and completely hear and understand that women will put a trans person life in danger and sit up there and say, okay, well at the end of the day, you're still a man, so fight. Right? At the end of the day, you're still a man, so defend yourself. Right? At the end of the day, you're still a man, so don't hit me. Right? At the end of the day, I can say whatever I want to you, and because I am a cis biological born woman, I can say whatever I want to you, and because you're not, you still want to be. You can't say anything in retaliation to me, and if you do, you're anti-women. That's what I don't see from the trans community. That we're not anti non-binary. We're just trying to um, not separate, trying to put a difference on being trans and versus being non-binary. Where I feel like as females, they're literally an agenda. They feel like we're trying to replace them, so they're trying to take us out, trying to invalidate our transitions. They're trying to purposely misgender us. They're purposely trying to keep us single. They're purposely trying to keep us away from black men. And I just feel like that's the big difference. But once again, drop down in the comment section. Let's talk about it like we do with every conversation that we have on the Sister Maemae show. Um, let's also talk about how can we bridge the gap? Because as a black trans woman, I'm a woman just like you. So I don't want there to be no beef. Even if you don't feel like I'm a woman, that's cool. Just respect me. That's all I could ever ask from my black cisgender sisters, my black cisgender community. Not even black cisgender women. Just anybody. Just respect me. If I tell you my name is Makayla, call me Makayla. If I say I'm a she, call me a she. And it's just that simple. If we just respect each other's boundaries, respect each other's pronouns, respect what each other say that we are, I think things wouldn't be so complex, things wouldn't be so complicated. But the issue is when you feel like then you get to superimpose your views upon me, then we have an issue. Um, I really, 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 really would like to get this understanding that I'm gonna always protect myself, whether it's against a man, woman, child, monkey, dog, cat, gorilla, whatever. I'm gonna always protect myself. I'm always gonna put Michaela first or James first, and we're gonna protect us. So if you don't want the vitriol, if you don't want the bow, if you don't want the wreaths, if you don't want trans girls posting 100 videos about you a day. Don't attack us. Don't sit there up there and set up an attack and don't expect us not to defend ourselves because most trans women that I know are going to defend themselves each and every time. Um, so once again, drop down in the comment section, like, share this video. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, hit your girl up on her email at sister sister Maemae show SHOW at AOL.com and leave me something that you want to be discussed. Leave me any current events. Let's talk about it. See you guys in the next one. Toodaloo.